What about the moment? Hey, what's up? What's going on?
We got photo bombs from Mosley Manning going on in the back. She just got off Space Mountain.
Hair does look phenomenal.
I got a haircut, actually. We're going into a big stretch now. We got Super Bowl, we got Combine, and then we got free agency. A lot of airtime. This needs to be tight.
That a baby. That's why you rap sheet.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Actual love. I am so happy that the world got to see that, and that I think, I don't want to say I told you so, because in sports media, a lot of people say that, and then they say a lot of things that are wrong, and they just refuse to chit-chat about those, and we are certainly no different than everybody else. But from the very beginning, I thought to myself, these two might be perfect for each other. These two might be perfect for each other. And then as you see it kind of unravel, I think he thanked her, obviously, for being a big part of the run. They were kissing. She got a chance to give him a big hug with his pads on. She got to see him go give a speech. She gave a shout-out to Andy Reid. She dapped up Tony Romo. It's like Taylor's a part of the football world now. This is good news, not bad news. But a lot of people are going to say, you know, well, how many times is CBS going to show Taylor Swift at that Super Bowl? Well, she is a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
She's selling out stadiums in all these countries in which it's their first game they're watching every single year. I assume they're going to show Taylor a lot.
Quite a bit.
I assume it's going to get real loud. But I assume that this Kansas City Chiefs team is going to somehow have a plan to win the game. The other game that took place between the Chiefs and the Ravens. So now, you know, every conversation is that the NFL rigged this to get Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. What do you say, Adam Schefter?
Absolutely, it was rigged. I mean, come on.
You even say they're going to clip that right there. Yeah. They're going to clip that. Adam Schefter. Look, because your name tag's even right underneath it. Adam Schefter, ESPN senior NFL insider. Oh, they definitely rigged it, but nonetheless.
It was rigged. It was rigged. It had nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes. It had nothing to do with Travis Kelce. It had nothing to do with Andy Reid. Nothing to do with the way that this champion has played. It had everything to do with the NFL scriptwriters and them wanting to make sure that they got Taylor Swift back from her concert in Tokyo to be in the stadium in Las Vegas in time for the Super Bowl, because the ratings weren't going to be high enough. So they wanted to make sure they're even higher for the Super Bowl. And they wanted to bring just a little extra juice to a game that, frankly, was just a flat matchup. So, yes, it worked out very well, and the NFL was able to manage to rig the game, and now Taylor Swift will be there. It's great.
Super Bowl, kind of a dud this year.
That's in Vegas.
Hey, where do you need us to go? And Vinatieri would just, move 2 yards. Yeah. Let me get out of your way. So I like that Justin Tucker was like, nah, I'm not moving, even if you are Patrick Mahomes. And I'm sure they've been at the Pro Bowl together and many events together, and they talk like that. But like what Travis Kelce did, I think anybody would do if their quarterback was potentially going to step on a helmet.
Yeah, before his ankle. I mean, look how dangerous that is. Football's around your feet. Come on now.
Exactly. And Patrick has a warm-up, I assume, that he does in this thing. Justin Tucker has a warm-up that he has in this thing. But this is normally handled in the kicker normally moves with just obviously.
The hate for him, I don't understand it. I can't figure it out, man. If you watch 49ers football, if you've watched it the last 2 years and you watch Brock Purdy play, I don't understand where you can even bring the hate in. This guy has been incredible. He is a playmaker, and this game manager tag, it's baffling.
You guys are running with it, though, huh? In the locker room, everybody's like, you guys are running with it, obviously, because I think Bosa even said he's the greatest game manager of all time. It seems like you all are kind of mocking it right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have fun with it. We always say, ignore the noise, but, we're all humans. It's 2024. We hear at least some of this stuff. We're not keyed into every single word, but, you're going to hear some of it. But behind the scenes, I mean, Brock, he is the most humble, hardworking guy I've been around. We'll have install meetings, and, we break up. You're going off to your next meeting. And Brock is still sitting in his chair looking at that play sheet. Everyone is out of the room, and he's still just dialed in looking at it. And it's every single day like that. He is so locked in and so serious. He takes this job so serious. Anytime he speaks to the team, it's always about how he doesn't want to let us down. He doesn't want to let down the guys that have been doing this for so long. And he just has a maturity about him and an understanding of, the magnitude of this and how important it is, and how how tough it is to get these opportunities. So I appreciate that from him so much. But man, I truly, truly don't understand the hate for him. And everything, all the numbers, if you watch them, like they go against every narrative. But people, I don't know if it's the draft, being the last guy picked in the draft, if it's because he's not,
But then if it's the last guy, if it's the last guy in the draft, then you're just a mark pretty much to be like, the NFL scouts know everything that they're talking about. Then you're a bum if that's how you're thinking, right?
Yeah.
So like every single reasoning for thinking, I could counter argue to make it sound like you're a bum. Michael Jordan now is the GOAT. Well, is LeBron James better than Michael Jordan? This is every day for some sports media. Every single day, this is some of it. So that's going to come with people tearing down Michael Jordan to either put up LeBron James or tear down LeBron James to put over Michael Jordan. It's starting to happen with Patrick Mahomes right now, where there's people saying, he's already greatest of all time, better than Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't able to blah, 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 blah. Do you appreciate that? Do you respect that? Do you hate that? How do you feel about the bullshit that kind of comes alongside of being the greatest of all time for the biggest league on earth, Tom?
Yeah, I think that there's nothing that Patrick can do, in my opinion, that takes away from what I tried to accomplish in my career. And there's nothing that I did can take away from what he's trying to accomplish. I feel like all I tried to be was the best I could be. And I didn't, even though I had sporting idols, like I said, I could never be Steve Young. I could never be Joe Montana. Those are the guys I could never be. Dan Marino or John Elway. These were my childhood idols. And they had incredible careers, and they put as much as they could into their career, and I really respect them for that. And I just tried to do the same thing. And believe me, if anybody can go out there and win 7 Super Bowls, I have so much respect for them. I understand how difficult it is. I will congratulate them, and I'm going to, give whatever it is a big hug. I texted my friend who plays with Pat after the game, and I just said, tell him congrats. I mean, just awesome to watch him play. And I love watching him lead his team. And of all the things I love leadership, and I love people that are selfless. I hate selfish teammates. I don't like being around people that are self-serving and always trying to create their own self-serving narrative about who they are. I love teams. I love team sports. I love celebrating success with other people and the businesses I'm a part of, whether that's being a part of the Fox broadcast team. I know that I'm just playing one role. Whether it's being a part of Noble, I know I'm playing one role. I need a lot of other teammates to help me come in and be successful. And I embrace that. There's so many things I'm not good at, and there's so many things I don't know. I get to be around people that are the best in the world at what they do, and I get to learn from them. So I see that as just continuing to add to my own learnings and my growth, and I still have hopefully a long life ahead. We'll see how it goes, but I've enjoyed it to this point, and hopefully there's a great second chapter ahead. Never used that term in my entire life. I think when people say it, I'm always like, what's the Patriot way? It sounds like the title of a book. I think what we tried to do was we tried to do things the right way. I think we tried to practice the right way and prepare the right way. What happened on game day was ultimately a reflection of what we practiced, and I thought we had great leadership from our coaches, and it filtered down to the guys who really drove the culture. We had so many guys that I played with over the course of a lot of years that, really understood that, okay, I'm going to care about my teammates and I'm going to care about helping the team win. And whatever personal agenda you had, individual success and individual awards, I don't want to make those insignificant, but they weren't as significant as what we were trying to accomplish as a team. And I think being a real selfless player and understanding that if the ball didn't come your way as a receiver and it went somewhere else, that was a great thing for the team, as opposed to a lot of times, if it doesn't go to you or if you don't make the tackle, you get frustrated that you don't feel like you're a part of it. To me, it was always when we'd score touchdowns, we'd celebrate with the O-line, because without them, we didn't have anything.
Kansas City Chiefs are in the middle of building a dynasty. Now, before they were able to win their next AFC championship this past weekend in Baltimore, before the game, there was some pregame activities between Justin Tucker, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I believe Blaine Gabbert was also in the ballpark with it all taking place. I chatted about it on Monday about how, this is kind of something that does take place where kickers, punters are, in the pre-workout, able to kind of work the field, find out what they're doing. Justin Tucker's probably been doing this routine for a very long time, but there is a conversation that normally takes place Hey, you're the quarterback. Do you need this? Yeah, all right, we'll move like 2 yards, 3 yards here. It has happened before with Vinatieri. It has happened before with numerous kickers. Now, granted, Justin Tucker, different than everybody, though. Yeah. This is greatest of all time. This guy's first ballot Hall of Famer. Absolute stud. So, the internet immediately buried Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes for bullying a kicker. Justin Tucker is never going to get bullied. Justin Tucker's greatest of all time and a dog. He came out and said he thought we were playing around. Well, now we got an answer from Patrick Mahomes on the entire situation. He went on a local radio station there in Kansas City, and this is what he had to say about the entire situation.
I've had like 7 years of kind of doing that same warm-up routine, and there's only been, I think, like 3 occasions where there's been a kicker that wasn't because you usually talk to the guys, so there had been a kicker that wasn't necessarily moving out the way, or you weren't kind of sharing the field in the right way, and I mean, it was in Baltimore all 3 times. So he does that little stuff, I think, to try to get under our skin. And I asked him to move his stuff, and he got up and moved it, I think, 2 inches, but didn't move it out of the way. And I was going to kind of let it slide, but Travis kind of got it and moved it for me. And then after that, I wasn't going to let him put it back down. So it's something that we move on. I mean, I have a lot of respect for him as a player and as a kicker. One of the best kickers of all time, probably the best kicker of all time, but at the same time, you got to have respect for each team, and we all share the field, and we try to do that in a respectful way.
Yeah, so I've been doing this for 7 years. There's only been 3 situations, and all of them are in Baltimore. So that was Pat. How am I going to address this? Pat thought before going into that interview. He was like, I would just like to let everybody know there's only one place where this is a thing, which adds the allure of Justin Tucker, by the way.
Yeah,
a little bit of him. Great for football, and obviously we're massive fans of the show. Then you and Taylor become like literally the couple that every human on earth is talking about. It used to be like the Kardashians and like Paris Hilton and them. Yep. Like when we were growing up, that was that type of stuff. Yeah. Now you're in the middle of that. All the while in the middle of a dynasty as well with the Kansas City Chiefs. Was there ever a moment where you had to just sit down and be like, man, there's a lot going on right now? Or have you been able to kind of navigate it all? How has it kind of gone?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I had to kind of reel it back, and because it's all everybody in this building knows my intentions, man. Football is my main focus right now. There's a lot of people counting on me in this building, in this city, in this organization. So this is my number one focus at the time, to be able to, and on top of that, it's in my heart to be able to pour everything I got out there on the field. And there's some perceptions and people can perceive what they want, but I wanted to make sure that the guys and the men and women in this building knew that I was 100% focused on this team and getting this team to where we are, where we're going next week. And 100% I had to look back, take a step back, and really see how I was, portraying myself to the world, and just to make sure that everybody knew I was focused, all while still enjoying my life off the field.
Yeah, and being a gentleman through it all, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you're representing football right now, and I don't want to talk all about I don't want to talk about your relationship because we are a sports program, but your relationship has crawled into the sports world. It's like we've all learned about Taylor Swift. Like, I did not know a lot about her. My wife is a massive fan of her work and her stories and everything, and following her career. It's like we have been so pumped that like a football guy, like, hey, this is a gentleman, like chivalry, like not scared to be potentially in like somebody else's spotlight as well. Like it's been beautiful to watch, Travis. We're all incredibly pumped.
I apprect it, brother.
We're pumped for you, buddy.
Thank you, brother. Yeah. We're just trying to reel in the good ones one at a time, baby.
They're very strong. They're set up well. They got young players at great positions, and they should be able to do it. And then obviously in a situation like this, it's tough. And now it's still Chiefs. It's still Patrick Mahomes. It's still the NFL playoffs. Am I cutting out? Cutting out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you're back.
All right.
You're back.
All right. Am I back?
You're back.
All right.
What?
Sorry. All right. Oh. What? All right. But, I mean, losing your defensive coordinator, that's tough.
Can you hear him?
Still gone, no.
Yeah. I don't have. You guys have him?
I don't have him.
Hello?
1, 2, 3.
Jage.
2, 3. Yeah.
I can't hear. Do you hear anything, Pat?
No. I hear you, AJ.
Yeah, got AJ.
Connor.
I hear you guys.
What?
Do AQ can
What?
you
Good.
Testing.
What?
Can't hear JJ.
What?
AJ, JJ, can you hear us?
Yes.
Did he say yes or no there?
Is he
Yeah,
talking?
shake your head there because you're.
Yes.
Okay, he can hear us.
I can't tell. I'm being bit.
You're back. We got you back. You're back.
There he is.
There it is.
We are the worst.
It's a great show. Love being a part of this. Love it. Just really enjoy it. Really enjoy the friendships, the camaraderie, the locker room that you miss.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I heard you're enjoying the hell out of Disney World down there, buddy.
I just finished riding Tron. Probably not great for the neck, Pat, but Ashley, me, and the kids had a good time. I passed on Space Mountain because that's definitely bad for a guy who's had 4 neck surgeries. But, yeah, right in the middle of Disney World right now, having a great time. Yeah, I sent Wes a long voice memo kind of telling him.
Hey, what's the length of that? 18, 20, 30? What is the length of that actually?
Yeah, I think it was 15 minutes. It was short. Kind of what my thought process was last year, what the rules are, what the defenses are.
Viore.
Chuck's 80 pounds.
I don't know. Is that
Viore,
No,
Lulu?
I'm not fancy like you, Chuck.
You are small.
No, I mean, the way you look, as fit as you look,
right.
watching
Fancy
you
hat.
walk away from me, I sit in the back with Z. You look amazing.
28-year NFL coach.
36.
30. Jesus.
Whoa.
NFL 28.
Why are you-
18 in college.
18 in the NFL.
Why are you
Wrong across all board.
Why are you trying to move on, Tony?
It's because he's wearing mediums now.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Tone, this is a good thing. We're proud of
The
you.
fancy hat you have, too. Don't
Yeah.
say
Shut
Medium
Put a
tone.
watch on. Hey, look at you.
Fancy tone.
Tone.
Fancy fit tone.
Don't you?
Anthem, medium de Julia.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Size down to Julio. I'm backed into a corner. I'm going to start lashing out. Wait, I don't want this.
Yeah, well, we are not putting you in a corner. We're putting you on a pedestal. aren't we?
Amen. Oh, I don't
Yes,
want to
we
be there.
are.
Nobody should be there.
How have you dealt with the transition from Harbaugh to you? How have you addressed it with the players? And you're obviously out on the road recruiting. What type of questions are you being asked about your philosophies as opposed to Coach Harbaugh's?
Yeah, the biggest thing people want to know is, like, how am I going to run the program compared to Coach? I'm going to run it my way, and you know, we're still going to be tough. We're still going to be smart. We're going to be dependable. We're going to be relentless in everything we do. Continue the enthusiasm. The energy for me is a big piece of it. I want to be someone that the kids can rely on. They can be a vessel for. Be very open with them. You know, my philosophy in coaching is I coach hard, but I love harder. So they're going to feel that. So the program and how we've done it and how we've built it is going to be the same. There's going to be bits and pieces that is me. I'm going to be me. I can't be Coach. Don't want to be Coach. Coach is his own person. I love him. I got mad love for him and always will and respect him. I've learned so much from him. But I'm going to run the program my way.
Quarterback for Alabama, as we stick in the college football world, was giving a speech at his camp, I believe, down in Alabama. And obviously a big topic of conversation for Alabama and Jalen is the retiring of Nick Saban. Listen to this promo he cuts, and then I think it'll settle in even more why everybody seems to love that guy, and I assume Kalen DeBoer is pumped that he's still leading the program.
Yeah, I miss Coach Saban, 100%. I do miss Coach Saban. But he was a big reason why I came to Alabama. But to see him go is going to be tough on us. But we have to realize that Coach Saban is 28 years from being 100 years old. So, so we got to let him retire in peace.
Okay? So,
retire in peace.
You know, like this guy, 28 years away from being 100 years old. You know, maybe we talk about it. Love the mindset. That's the leader down there. And he's the guy who's going to decide whether or not they're able to continue to go or not, seemingly. Hold on. We're talking about the sideline antics. Didn't you call your wife one time from the sideline phone, Joe?
Yeah. I mean, I called her a bunch of times after that, but one time I was just sitting there, and I think it was in L.A. was the first time. I was sitting there, we were winning, and I was going, wow, let me see if I hit 9 like any other place, right? You get an outside line, and I got an outside line. So I dialed up my house, and she answered the phone. I said, hey, what are you doing? She goes, I'm watching the game. What are you doing? What are you calling me for? I go, I just thought I'd check and see if this phone worked and if it dialed out, and it did. So I thought I'd call and say, hey, love you. Gotta go back to work.
You're the coolest dude of all time. You're
as real as it gets. And you said some of the things I said. I mean, there's no magic, recipes or secret sauce formulas. I mean, it's hard work, good old fashioned hard work and good old fashioned teamwork. And Tom laid it out as well as it can be laid out, work, teamwork. That's what makes the dream work. Accountability. I mean, that interview you did with Tom, I mean, that should be content that every young football player, college football player, pro football player studies. I really was, in that press conference yesterday, really also just sending a message. Some that hopefully many heard it, which is, coaches, potential coaches here for the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, we have got to protect this man, his environment, both on the field, off the field, in the meeting room, and it's gonna have to be come here. I mean, you got to be up for the challenge. Man enough to coach a talent like Justin Herbert and the rest of the team up front. Offensive line. I mean, we're relying on. I mean, every position group relies on the offensive line. Defensively, I mean, we got to be able to get teams stopped, get turnovers, get field position. Special teams, we're improving here. But run game, play action. We've got to attack it all and get really good at football if we're going to accomplish